Not good. All right, I guess, what is it, 60? Yeah, let's get this thing on the road.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not that stuff, and if anyone wants to pop in, Corey, it's your show. It's the only way to do this.
All right. We can look at each other, or we can look at the agenda. You tell me. The agenda is very light. I guess, did everybody have a chance to read through the updates?
Mm-hmm. You did.
I did.
Motion to approve.
Well, I'll say that I did not produce any minutes from the May meeting. I recorded it, but I did not transcribe it. But I'll figure something out about that. But yeah, with the agenda, let's see, there's some highlights. Of course, we'll go about division. So with parks, everything is.
We do have public comment. I know Mark is here. I think he said he was just listening in, but if he wants to say something, give him a chance to do it. You hearing me, Mark? I guess not.
Uh-huh.
No comment. There we go. Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Mark.
So at the community center, let me start over. Programming, we're ready to resume in July 6th with call it modified summer camps and some adult programming in the evenings. Some of the precautions that you're probably familiar with now. With camps, we are taking temperatures and asking the list of 5 questions before the kids enter the building. We are discouraging loitering at that point, meaning camp participants or program participants in the building. Everyone else, if you have business in the building, certainly the town or the building is open, but discouraging the loitering or just hanging out in the break rooms and that sort of stuff. Special events, we have Matthews Alive is canceled, but we also went ahead and canceled our July 4th event. Still set for 2 Beach Fest events, one in October, and again, resetting the clock, resuming it back in May. Of course, still unsure about Food Truck Fridays. We're going to make some decisions once we hear more information from the governor about the next phase and where we are after end of June.
Corey, do you want to share your screen?
Yeah. So you're not looking at yourselves.
Do we know if there are any open spots in any of the summer camp programs?
There are a few. We have limited the camp numbers to 10 for most of them, but I do think some of them still have space. Charles, if you're listening, he mentioned some low numbers with some of the camps. He also expressed some concern about some types of camps that we are going to attempt to deliver, being sports camps, a lot of, just call it it'd be hard to follow social distancing or physical distancing with some.
Right.
Corey, the camps will be more expensive, won't they, because of the fact that we are having to lower numbers a great deal. So the cost per child will be more for Parks and Rec, I'm assuming.
Cost more. Well, I think we plan to set minimums. And typically the way that the camps are set up is a split between the instructor and the department. So it's not a, call it, loss, but certainly the gain is a lot less if we do choose to deliver the camp.
I see.
So in other words, running a camp with only 10 kids is not going to result in a big hole in your budget. I mean, it's going to be a hole in your budget because money that would be there isn't going to be, but you're not going to lose money basically on the camp.
Right, for most of them. We did cancel the biggest one, Camp Funshine. So, I mean, on the other hand, it's fewer dollars we'd be expending also. So less money coming in, but a little less going out with the smaller camps.
Now, are we, I mean, but once again, everything is still, this qualifies under the current stage 2, right?
Yes.
If we don't go to stage 3 by July 1, that's not going to knock out the camps.
No, the indoor limits, like I said, we managed the camp sizes and kept them, for the most part, under 10. Well, they're under 10 kids.
Okay.
Of course, playgrounds still closed, parks are open.
So, can I ask questions from that standpoint? How closed are closed? Because there may or may not be a park that may or may not back up to my neighborhood that the caution tape has been removed and the sign may or may not be there that says the park is closed. So, like, how closed are they?
The park is open. Park itself,
I mean, the playground. Sorry, playground park.
The playground closed, meaning the tape may have fallen, but we are encouraging people not to use the playground equipment. Yeah.
Gotcha. Because the sign that was sticking there, like the yard sign that was there, was not there last time I went by.
Okay.
So
Monitor that.
Honestly, we don't. I've driven by a couple of playgrounds and pulled the tape back up, but honestly, every time it rains, that tape's coming. And effectively, I think the message is out. Even with the tape, when equipment was under repair, when someone wants to play on it, they're just going to get on it. So tape effectively is more visual. Hopefully, it's more for the parent to discourage use of the equipment. But really, it is a visual message. Please don't play on this equipment. Now, we're not going to put.
Like I said, the sign at Square Lake Park was not there when I went by yesterday or the day before. So I don't know if it was removed on purpose or if it was, I didn't know if it was supposed to be there or not.
Yeah, we may go by and at least put the sign back up. It's a losing battle with the caution tape.
Yeah.
We'll. I guess I'll say we'll stick to the message, and we'll see what we physically see on the playground. So we'll see. I'll talk to Scott.
All right, cool. Sounds good.
Mm-hmm. And
with classes starting up, we're going to have the same issues with limited to 10 or not even 10, because some of those rooms, I understand, can fit 5 to 7 people only.
You mean in terms of being able to distance?
In terms of being able to, whether it's even cost effect, whether the decision has to be made at some point, whether do we run the class and, not make money on it or and serve a purpose, or do we hold off even further?
Yeah, some of them are going to be, call it program by program decision. And some of the instructors are pretty adamant about requiring masks for to participate. And we're going to look at each one. We're going to call it error on the side of caution. If the instructor just will not teach without the mask, then we're going to require the participants to wear masks. And also same deal with the temperature checks. All of them will have the questionnaire, but call it program by program requiring the mask.
A couple of questions. We have limited large space, the community room, studio A and B, if they're opened up and maybe underneath the MAC. Are any of those going to be able to be used for classes, or are we going to be stuck in the classrooms, which have very small capacity?
No, well, the rooms that, I'll say some of the camps have already canceled. Like when I say the instructor is, they're just not comfortable teaching. So there is space. So we're not at the same capacity we were before all this started in terms of number of camps. So I'll say if we did need to move a camp, I'm pretty sure we have another space that we could use, but community room is there. Oh, well, I'll say it's available, but I'll say it's being programmed. I'll put it that way. But yeah, it is limited to 10. Yeah, I'm going to say even in the community room. I don't think
And this is also going to be for the classes that are going to resume starting July 1. question for you. Has the town given any thought to allowing using Zoom as a platform for these classes as opposed to in person?
Yeah, some of the classes have been ongoing since March. The ballet and I'll say a couple of the yoga classes.
Yeah, they are. But I understand, obviously, come July 1, they're back under the town auspices again.
Yeah, Melissa did sort of talk through some options or ideas about some classes that, could offer both options to be in person and also remote. So yeah, it's not off the table once we say open the doors. So, honestly, a lot of people still are not comfortable. A lot of our staff still is not comfortable. We had a staff meeting this morning and some genuine concerns about the public coming into the building. And we certainly understand it. So we're going to err on the side of caution and, make some of those decisions. Some as we go and then others on a case by case or program.
Is the staff still working remotely, Corey?
We have call it a staggered schedule. So I'm in the office 4 to 5 days a week. Melissa and Scott alternating days because they share it's a huge office that's sort of split, but they aren't in at the same time. I'll say Ashley's in 4 days a week. Michelle, she's in pretty much every day. So all of us are not all in at the same time.
Okay.
Anything else down here? I think I touched on everything.
It's great all the maintenance updates that you've been able to do, and I love the public art.
Yes,
That's beautiful.
The cross.
And I like the middle logo. I like the middle logo down there. That one looks cool.
Yeah, I had to call Charles. It's like, are these supposed to be different?
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. I can see differences from the left to the center and the right. I'm having a hard time seeing a difference, but
yeah, he had to point out it was the interior edging. Is the difference.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
They look good though.
And it looks like the red is a little brighter in the middle one than it is on the other ones.
Yeah.
They got the ESPN. Yeah, I like the ESPN themed esports. Pretty funny.
I do too. I think that's cool.
Yeah, so we're trying to dabble into the esports arena.
Good.
Yeah, it's exciting. And again, when there was a lot, well, I'll call it a lot, let's call it, say some momentum behind esports after the planning conference.
It's got to be perfect for COVID related. I mean, just socially distance all the gamers and let them game.
Yeah, I guess we were, envisioning more of a come and play at Cruise, like having, tournaments at the rec center.
I mean, you can still do that. You just got to be safe about it. And I think you can easily do it. It just probably can't get as many kids as you wanted, but it is what it is.
Yeah. So, we'll see. We'll see what takes off, what we need to adjust. I was trying to see, did I cover everything that was in the update?
Yeah, I had a question for you about the Food Truck Fridays. I don't know if you're covering that later or that's now.
Oh, we talk about it now.
Okay, there's just something in there that refers to stage script detailing processes, period. I have no idea what the heck that is. MCs must read approximately every 20 minutes and or natural breaks. I just don't know what that is. It's
the reminder from the stage.
It's down right above 25 step-in signs. That one right there.
Yeah. So reminding everybody to socially distance. I guess the
MC's just got to read it every 20 minutes, so it's read and people understand it. They need to keep saying it.
Right. About call it how to use the bathrooms, meaning how many people are going to be allowed in at a time and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, my question is, with no kids activities, nothing special for kids, with kids having to be retained by parents, which is going to be a nightmare in that space, is are we just asking for trouble by even trying to go forward with Food Truck Fridays? And also the issue.
Can we make
obviously,
it-
you know,
Can we make it more adult themed? I mean, I know they had like the wine and beer garden and in the past. I mean, is this really a better time to make it more of a date night and not a kids function? Just a thought.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could be. I'm not sure how to. I'm not sure it still wouldn't be kids there. I think.
I mean, yeah, you can't prevent them, but you could just, the way you market it, it could be date night, bring your significant other and have a good night out on the town. Kids are not unwelcome. We don't say that, but I mean, you would just say kids optional. You can make it funny like that.
Yeah,
But
I mean, honestly, at this point, we're still trying to get to the point where this can even happen. Just with capacity and numbers, we're not able to be outdoors in the numbers that would make sense to, have a concert and the food trucks out at this point. So
And
really
we
waiting
thought-
on information.
I mean, beer and wine vendors may be tough to get somebody to come out because of issues. And the fact is they've got to be convinced that they're going to be able to make it worth their while. The issue is, even if you open it, are people going to come out?
Yeah, so are we gonna call it break the or not obey the governor's order and have like these crowds of people? And on the other hand, are we gonna be allowed to and do it and nobody shows up because nobody wants to be, around? From what I've seen, I think people are ready to get out. I'm sure you guys, once stores opened up, you see people out and about, call it, safe or not, but they're ready to get out and
Sure.
do stuff. Just be a matter of being able to, and not deliberately disobey the order. Sense. There were some examples that were shared earlier today in our staff meeting. And I think the message is, we get it. People are breaking the rules all around us.
Sure.
We just don't want to be that example and do it ourselves.
yeah.
How much trouble would you have with the limit entry to the first 450 people, and all of a sudden you have, 500 people? So I guess that's what I would worry about. Obviously, you're going to have some unhappy people when you tell them they can't come in, but you don't want to break the rules. So I don't know.
Yeah, and that's that number is certainly a guess.
I think when it goes to that number, it will just go to what difference does it make? Do you not think? I mean,
Yeah,
It's crowded. Yeah, crowded's crowded.
if there's a crowd, there's a crowd. What difference does it make if it's 450 or whatever?
it's a good point. We don't know if there is going to be a limit. Yeah, you're right. Once you get to 450, do you even need to set a limit?
Yeah.
Right.
It's just one of those unknowns. We're still waiting to get more information about.
It's just hard if you were the 451st person.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I think I mentioned we've already canceled the 4th of July.
Yeah.
We, at this point, realistically thinking July, I think that's to be the 4th Friday in July, potentially as that first Food Truck Friday event for 2020, but just uncertain about what the limits are going to be. So still on the wait.
It won't be hot out there then, will it?
Oh yeah.
Any thought to asking people basically to pre-sign up for it so we know what's coming? In other words, if you sign up for it and you don't show up by X amount, your spot's being given away. And that way we have an idea in advance if we're going to have a crowd problem or not. You're still going to have walk-ins, but it'll give you an idea in advance of whether you're going to hit your capacity or not.
Yeah, we have not talked about that.
Well, it could give you assured entry too, though, if you did something.
Right.
Like
In other words, if you sign up and you show up before a certain time, you're guaranteed to get it. If you show up after that time, you lose your spot.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah, I mean, that's something we can certainly look at. But yeah, we just haven't talked about it. Typically, with an outdoor event, Yeah, we have not been forced to manage the crowd.
Yeah, yeah. I would think the logistics of just doing that might be a little challenging.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely something we can talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Again, once we get to the point where it's a number that makes sense to have an event.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let me scroll up a bit. If there's nothing else with those divisions, I'll go on to my report. The board did pass the budget for fiscal year 21. For our department, it was pretty much status quo, maintaining essentially the same levels of funding for a lot of our activities. We did get we got funds for an additional swing set, or I'm gonna just say a swing in Rice Park. So we're gonna add that. Some additional dollars for maintenance and landscape identified for Stumptown Park, since we lost a lot with the tornado, and some other ideas about the turf. It does make me feel not so proud to see all that clover in Stumptown Park, but I'm not sure how to overcome it. It's the park where everybody like walks all over the grass, and it's almost impossible to maintain a awesome looking lawn when you encourage, everybody to just consistently. Right. So we got a few extra dollars to try something. Hopefully Ralph can come up with some good ideas. And again, 2 Beach Fest events. That's pretty much it. There was an ask. Well, let me back up. We have started at least the planning process for the dog park. I actually met with one of our planning firms. Well, the planning firm that we're working with. We met them on site Monday. We did. I'll share a sketch with you once they put it together, but we are going to have the dog park closer to the road, not so deep into the site as shown in the conceptual design. We are going to take advantage of the trees that are up, say, near the road. So there will be a good amount of shade mixed with a good amount of just open space. Dogs, just take them off the leash and let them go. While we're standing there, we initially.
So when is this going to be done?
See, I'm still taking my foot out of my mouth when I said the Heritage Trail was going to be done like in 3 months.
Well, the Heritage Trail got done. It got done. So when's this other one going to get done?
Nah, man, that's a tough question. Let me get a little bit further into planning, and then I'll give you a good.
Oh, you're killing me,
we
brother.
need to
Come
name that dog
on.
park after Ryan.
I would be great, but it's got to be a dead person.
I agree.
So maybe we'll name after someone that passed away. But
We can put your name on a bench. It can be a
there we go.
there you go. I want a bench, dude. I want a bench, man. Heck, I will purchase that. I will donate money to the town.
Done.
If I can have my own bench. Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, once we get through the planning part, it is essentially a fence, water, and electricity, and adding some. We are going to have mulch as a surface, so it shouldn't take an extremely long time. But we have limited amount of money, so we're going to be working with Public Works and trying to get them to do a lot of the work. So some of it is just lining up with their schedule when they can do some of the work. But
I mean, are we thinking like end of year, or is this a 2021 project?
honestly, when we get outside of the growing season or the grass cutting season, if we got into October, November, and still trying to make progress, we probably pick up, because the guys that we're trying to use in Public Works are mowing grass right now.
Yeah,
So
I got you.
Not doing that, it's more hands to knock some of the stuff out. So my goal, hopefully, we're done with this by December. Right.
Sweet, cool. Okay, I'll shut up now.
No, you won't.
We're excited about it.
I did like the tenting of the fingers. That was pretty cool.
I know, right?
The Mr. Burns approach.
Outside of the park, we are going to make a connection to the bike trails, so users can park on Highway 51 side and still access the trails and not have all the parking on the community garden side. Also Monday, sort of related to us, town board did approve the manager and entered into an agreement with the contractor to improve the square at Trade and Matthew Station Street. So essentially that intersection is going to be raised. Pedestrian, say walkability improved. I don't have the visual to show you, but it's awesome amenities added to the sidewalks. They've already improved the lighting, so that square should look a lot different.
It's going to look cool. I have a question around that same area. I think the town board just had a meeting or not too recently about what they should do with that patch of grass that they own in Matthew Station.
Right.
Do you have any more input on that? Like, that really should be something like a park. Like, I mean, not like a park. It should be a park, or it should be a building. I don't know why we're sitting on that for so long.
Yeah, they're trying to make decisions about it, working with Lat Purser. Now, I think the idea that you're talking about was parklets, so allowing restaurants to approach the town.
Yeah.
Be an application, and they could add seating in the public right-of-way, being spaces, parking spaces, or the idea was to use that grass. Now, I guess the question was, would ABC laws permit someone that was dining at a restaurant to take their alcohol into that space?
Well, I've said for years that Matthews needs an open carry policy in the downtown area, but that's just me. And open carry, I mean open container, not open carry, concealed carry. But it'd be good for business. Good for business. Think about it. You have a Matthews themed big gulp cup. You take the different bars, you get different themed drinks. It's great.
That is a great idea. That's a great idea.
Percent of proceeds go back to the town. $10 a cup.
Yeah, I think with COVID, the ABC laws did relax a bit and allow restaurants to, serve or have people consume in the public right away. But I think there was a question to Jay that I haven't talked to him about it since. What is that distance? How far away from your restaurant would they be allowed to?
I mean, if it's in a publicly owned space, can't they just relax it for publicly owned space? I mean, then you're running the risk of having drunks in public parks, but I don't know. Maybe if it's a designated area.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know. It's a touchy subject. I don't know.
Yeah. Actually, I'll get some more information on that. Jay was working on that pretty hard.
You technically already do it for food truck Fridays. I mean, you have a squared off space for that wine and beer. I mean, you could theoretically do it just for that one square and say, you can enjoy alcohol and food in this section.
Yeah, it's
but is it different when the town is basically sponsoring the stuff as opposed to a private restaurant? I don't know if ABC deals with that.
Well, then let's sell the land. Let's sell the land to that person.
Yeah,
that makes it easy.
So like the breweries and the people that create, they can bring their wine that they make themselves, the beer that they brew themselves, but they have that license. A restaurant doesn't have that same type of license where they can take their stuff off site. The people at Food Truck Friday have that, and they can, essentially bring their restaurant off site. Which, I mean, if a beer or a beer or wine truck, I'll say they could park right outside that space. But I think
we need a liquor truck.
A liquor sickle.
Oh, those exist.
Liquor sickle.
Oh, there's a business opportunity for you.
So I guess one of the vendors that are in our parks for Food Truck Friday could serve in that park space. I don't think the restaurants adjacent to it could. That's why we haven't been able to use those local restaurants. We've only been able to use a couple of breweries and whatever wineries that have that permit. That's pretty much all I've got for right now. Again, they're very excited about the dog park. That's probably what I'm going to be working on mostly for the next at least 2 months. just getting that thing.
You got my number, Corey? You got my number? Just give me a call, man.
I'll tell you, it's on site.
That's great.
Okay, let's do it.
Corey, I got a question for you. Under the social distancing spacing, how many seats, how many people can we get into the theater given the current social distancing? I know Melissa's been out there going through every room.
That's a good question. I don't know. We do. I'll say we haven't done the math on it. We talked, well, just anecdotally saying it'd be much less than 50% capacity, essentially.
Right. I'm just wondering whether it's even going to be rentable space because of the numbers that we're going to be dealing with.
Do you allow families to sit together, or do they even have to socially distance from each other?
They shouldn't have to socially distance.
We didn't.
I mean, if you're living with them.
Yeah.
But then you get into a whole idea of is this a family or not? You know, that creates a secondary issue.
Well, so we're limiting their free will, though. That's the only thing. It's like,
Yeah, I know. Well,
Yeah, but if a whole bunch of people come together and they say, I'm a family, you're not going to be you can't very well say, no, you're not a family. That
well,
would
if they want to get COVID together, they can get COVID together.
You know, we did punt on making a decision about rentals in a conversation a couple of weeks ago. We, of course, made a date, hardline date to start the programming or resume programming. But with the unknowns, like things like, just like what you're saying, how to manage people in the theater, how to manage outside groups and cleaning after they leave, before they come. It was just a lot of unknowns. And so we punted on that one and hadn't made a call on when we're going to allow rentals to resume back in the community center and Cruz Rec Center also. Howie, I thought about you. I had every intention of going out to that project to see the Roseland Cemetery and see what they've done, but I did not. And actually, I talked to Harvey, it's been a couple of weeks ago now, and promised him we'd ride together. And both of us would go and look at the cemetery and see what progress that developer is making with.
He's kind of still in quarantine because of some other health issues he's got. He's not really, able to go out and, socialize or get in close contact with anyone anyway.
Yeah.
If you go out, take a video and send to him or something. That'd probably.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Love that.
That's a great idea.
So I'm going to make time, I'll say in the next 2 weeks, to just drive through. Our planning department, I have asked, and, there's no update from them. Developers don't really, report back once the project gets going
Right.
to the town. But I'll drive through and check it out.
Good.
Cool.
All right, that'd be great. Yeah, I know he's not. I don't know why he's not on, because I did talk to him. He was gonna, get the link. He was gonna hook to it with his phone, but
Maybe he had some technology problems.
might be.
Yeah, it was a couple of weeks ago when I talked to him, and I have not talked to him since.
I guess that's it then, right? And there's really no new business other than getting everything back and going. So, anybody else have anything they want to talk about or questions they want to ask?
No.
I guess.
Yeah,
that's
thanks for the park commission though. When that tree fell over on Privet and I don't even know the name of the student where I live off of.
Yeah.
And just right there up at Dixon Squirrel Lake Park, a tree just was rotting and just blew over and took down a telephone pole, took all the power lines, the cable lines and everything. And then within 24 hours, we had a brand new pole, everything up and running.
Oh, wow.
It was great.
Oh, wow.
That one's very responsive.
Awesome. Yeah, there's a couple of spots along the Greenway. We've seen trees falling over creeks, a couple of spots. I'm not sure if we've gotten to all of them, but I'm glad to hear we got or at least somebody, stormwater or whoever, handle that issue for you or in your neighborhood.
Still have flooding issues have you had flooding issues lately with the rain in the parks?
Not too bad. Not in the parks. The bridges along the Greenway get it pretty bad.
Okay.
Those flash floods and sand gets all on the bridges. Now, Scott, was it you that said you guys are out there sand?
Yeah, we're out there biking, and I'm whacking my head on a couple branches. So I did after that meeting to go for a bike ride, and I had my my clippers in my hand. I stopped and I did a bunch of trimming.
Awesome. Yeah.
Ad hoc trimming.
So yeah, well, again, thank you for doing that.
Absolutely.
All right. I guess if nobody else has anything, we call it a night.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for showing up in your various places. Do appreciate it.